Most people think smooth travel is about luck. A good seat, a quiet flight, no delays. But if you watch closely, you'll notice something different. Some travelers seem to handle almost every situation better than everyone else. When flights are delayed, they stay calm. When boarding gets crowded, they move efficiently. When others are stressed, they already seem prepared. It's not luck. It's decision-making. Smart travelers don't just react during a trip. They make small, strategic decisions before and during the flight that change everything. Decisions most people don't even think about. In this video, we're going to break down 10 smart decisions travelers make before and during every flight. Some of these will save you time. Some will make your journey more comfortable. And a few might completely change how you travel from now on. Let's start with one decision that happens even before you leave for the airport. They decide what not to pack. Most travelers focus on what to pack. Smart travelers focus just as much on what not to pack. Overpacking creates problems at every stage of travel. Heavier bags slow you down at the airport. Overstuffed carry-ons make it harder to find items during the flight. And tightly packed luggage often leads to unnecessary stress when boarding. Experienced travelers understand that every extra item adds friction. They remove things they are unlikely to use. They prioritize versatility, items that serve multiple purposes, and they leave space in their bags instead of filling every corner. Because when your bag is easier to manage, your entire journey becomes easier. They decide how early is actually early enough. Arriving at the airport too late is stressful, but arriving far too early can also create unnecessary fatigue. Smart travelers don't guess. They consider factors like airport size, time of day, and whether they are checking luggage. They know that early morning flights may require more buffer time, but they also understand that arriving excessively early can lead to long waiting periods that drain energy before the journey even begins. Instead of following generic advice, they make a decision based on the specific situation. And that decision helps them arrive at the gate prepared, but not exhausted. They decide where to wait at the gate. Most passengers gather close to the boarding gate. It feels logical, but it often leads to crowded, uncomfortable spaces where movement becomes difficult. Smart travelers make a different decision. They choose a position where they can clearly hear announcements without being stuck in the crowd. They observe the boarding process from a slight distance. They stay aware, but not trapped in congestion. This allows them to move efficiently when it's time to board, and it helps them avoid unnecessary stress before the flight even begins. They decide what to do before boarding starts. There's a small window of time before boarding begins that many travelers waste. They scroll through their phones or sit idly without preparing. Smart travelers use this time intentionally. They organize their belongings. They ensure their boarding pass and ID are ready. They separate the items they'll need during the flight. This decision eliminates last-minute scrambling. When boarding begins, they are already prepared. And preparation always leads to a smoother experience. They decide how to enter the aircraft. Boarding a plane is one of the most overlooked parts of travel. Most passengers simply follow the line without thinking about how they move once they step inside. Smart travelers approach boarding with awareness. They move steadily without rushing. They remain mindful of the space around them. They understand that every second spent blocking the aisle affects dozens of passengers behind them. So they make a simple decision: be efficient, but not rushed. This mindset helps them board smoothly and avoid unnecessary tension during one of the busiest parts of the journey. They decide what to do immediately after sitting down. The moment you reach your seat matters more than most people realize. Some passengers sit down and then start organizing their belongings. Others stand in the aisle while trying to figure out where to put things. Smart travelers already know what they're going to do. They store their carry-on quickly. They keep essential items within reach. They sit down without delay. This decision keeps the boarding process moving and helps them settle into the flight without stress. They decide how to use their time during the flight. Flights can feel long or short depending on how time is used. Some passengers become restless. They check the clock repeatedly. They struggle to stay comfortable. Smart travelers make a simple but powerful decision. They plan how they will spend their time. Whether it's watching something, reading, resting, or simply relaxing, they approach the flight with intention. This reduces boredom and makes the journey feel more manageable. They decide when to get up. During flights, movement in the aisle can become congested. Passengers get up at random times, often creating small interruptions for others. Smart travelers are aware of timing. They choose moments when the aisle is clear. They avoid unnecessary movement during busy periods. This decision makes their experience smoother and more comfortable. They decide how to handle delays. Delays are one of the most stressful parts of travel. Most passengers react emotionally. They become frustrated or anxious. Smart travelers respond differently. They accept that delays are sometimes unavoidable. Instead of reacting immediately, they assess the situation. They look for updates. They consider their options calmly. This mindset doesn't eliminate the delay, but it prevents unnecessary stress. They decide how to exit the plane. Deplaning can be just as chaotic as boarding. Passengers often stand up immediately, creating congestion in the aisle. Smart travelers take a more measured approach. They wait until their row is ready to move. They respect the flow of passengers exiting ahead of them. This decision makes the process smoother and faster for everyone. They decide their overall attitude. Perhaps the most important decision travelers make isn't about luggage, timing, or seating. It's about mindset. Travel can be unpredictable. Flights can be delayed. Seats can be uncomfortable. Airports can be crowded. Smart travelers accept this reality. They choose patience over frustration. They choose awareness over stress. And this decision shapes their entire travel experience. At the end of the day, smooth travel isn't about perfection. It's about small, consistent decisions. Decisions that reduce stress. Decisions that improve comfort. Decisions that make the journey easier, not just for you, but for everyone around you. The next time you travel, pay attention to these moments, because often the difference between a stressful flight and a smooth one comes down to the choices you make along the way. If you found this helpful, share it with someone who travels often. And if you have your own travel habits that make flying easier, share them in the comments. Your experience might help someone else have a better journey. Thanks for watching Journey Genius.